G'day and welcome back to Shine Wellbeing, your home of integrated wellbeing solutions from the ground up. We're inside the Shine Wellbeing kitchen and we're getting started by filling our bellies to get ready for a busy day in the Shine Wellbeing veg patch. These are homemade Choko and corn fritters and made from this year's chokos, absolutely divine. And I can tell you, the smell, the flavour is just incredible. And as I'm nomming away on my breakfast, I'm just enjoying the beautiful view. These birds come every single day and they really appreciate that little bit of extra seed through the winter. It's just such a pretty time of year. Moving into spring. Well, that's done the job. Pop on the old hat and start heading out to the Shine Wellbeing veg patch. This is where all the magic happens. So nutrition isn't just about the way that you put your food together, it's where your food comes from, and this is the advantage of the patch. Oh, this arbour is still driving me crazy. I still haven't gotten to fixing it yet. Please tell me you've got projects just like this that you find just challenging. They bother you, but you just don't quite get to them. Maybe next episode I'll get it done. But let's check in on the carrots. So these are the Chantenay red carrots, and they're just humming along, enjoying their life right now. And I'm quite enjoying seeing them come up. I can't wait to really make something delicious out of these carrots. I'm thinking perhaps a curried carrot soup. I know that sounds a little odd, but it's something that I made last winter, not this year, but the year previous, and it was just divine. It was so hearty. So I think that's where some of them are going to be destined to. But the way that I seed my carrots is I just scatter them over the surface of the soil, and it works through multiple levels. So I'll thin them out, and then what gets thinned out will go into the worm kitchens and feed the worms. Once they've sort of grown a bit more, I'll thin them out again, and I'll take out the baby carrots and enjoy those in salads and bits and pieces in the kitchen. And then that'll make room for the larger carrots to grow on, and they're the ones that we'll be using and storing throughout the season once we can't grow them anymore. It's just beautiful out here this morning, and the carrots don't like to dry out, so it's I've got the hand water on them because the drip irrigation isn't quite reliable. Let's have a look at what's happening in the StrawberryFalls in DoveTemple. Quite a few on here. I'm a little excited, to be honest. Look at them all. Gorgeous. And not a slug in sight, touch wood. Pop that waste into the worm kitchen, turning waste into something great. That's one of the primary principles of the Shine Wellbeing veg patch. We've got a few projects to get through today, and I'm really looking forward to sharing them with you all. And thanks for being here. I really enjoy developing this series. It's kind of a love project, a little visual record of the garden and what I do. And I really enjoy creating it. So I hope that you enjoy watching it. If not, I had a bit of fun anyway. These violas are gorgeous, aren't they? So cheery. So I'm going to go around and just strip back any dead or dying leaves and just tidy up, because all of that is great compost, and it'll go into the worm kitchens, or if I get a lot today, then it'll end up going either through the mulcher and into the 3-bay composter, or it could end up in the chicken yard. It just depends on the volume and how much moisture's in the material. So here we are at DoveTemple 3, and the snow peas are finished here. So I'm going to take this trellis out today, and we've got the gorgeous brown onions humming along beautifully. But as I take a closer look, I can see that there's actually quite a few little weeds coming up and popping up in between the carrots. So I want to get on top of these straight away. And this is because I don't mulch onions as thickly as I would any other vegetable. So these trellises are so easy to get out. It's just amazing. I love these trellises that I built. They've just been so handy. And I use them for everything from tomato trellises to taming chokos to helping flowering plants to stay upright. And I've got an idea for that, so stay tuned. I'm going to show you what I use it for today. But let's get on top of these weeds for the onions now. It's not, a huge rush to do this job, but it's just something I like to stay on top of. And I promised myself when I developed the garden that I wouldn't let it get out of control, because once it does, it's quite stressful. I find it quite stressful, so I like to sort of try and stay on top. Any broken leaves and things that are damaged, it all just goes into the bucket, and then it'll end up in the worm kitchens. Topping over the top of the parsley here, and we're looking across into the DoveTemple, and this is where we're going to be heading to now. We've got to sort out this asparagus. So the asparagus is growing so rapidly that it's just bending and it's falling over and it's breaking in some parts. And if I don't get on top of this now, it's going to have a real effect on the haul. And because this is an 18-month-old, I think, plant, we want to make sure we're getting lots of good energy going down into that root system to keep producing more and more spears. So I'm going to use the Shimol Being trellis, the portable trellis, and pop it in to give it a little bit of support. Now, this is a little trickier than it looks perhaps, but I'm trying not to bend any of these fronds and snap anything while I push it down. And obviously, if you're going to do this, you don't want to, pop your stakes or something in close to your asparagus, because you probably end up stabbing some. But I think I'm pretty safe where I'm at, fingers crossed. So I'm just going to gently pull it back, pull it away, and then press the trellis down into the ground a little further so it can support the weight of the asparagus plant. So this is Mary Washington asparagus, and it is loving its life here. I've dedicated this entire end of the DoveTemple to asparagus. And I'm waiting on the purple asparagus to come up, but it's taking its time. It's going to be a bit exciting when it does come though. So just press the trellis down into the ground. It's nice and firm. They're very stable, and they're incredibly cheap and easy to make. If you're interested, there is a video on how to make these. And there we go. So that's one side taken care of now. And that's made a big difference already, but I can see that I'm going to end up facing the same problem on the other side. So I'm going to have to tend to that today as well. So in comes another one. I have about, I don't even know how many of these I've got made now. Probably 8 or 10 of them. They're just incredibly handy. I've got this size and a half size as well, and they just fit the beds perfectly. They were designed, I designed them specifically for this purpose. I'm just gonna hoik myself up here. It's quite a haul. Trying not to step on any of the plants. I do it all so gracefully, don't I? I'm going to haul that up. See, they're not too heavy either. They're not too hard to work with. They're a little cumbersome in this space, but it certainly is not really a problem to do. So getting that close to the asparagus, but not so it's stabbing into the root system. And I'm just going to push them back and out of the way so I don't snap them as I push the trellis down. Okay, so I'm just going to press that down a little more firmly now, make sure it's fully in place. And then I've got a few on the ends that are going to want to spill out, so I'm going to tie those into place. And this is also going to help to box in the asparagus, but it's going to help to bring some security to those trellises if we get big winds or if they get a bit loose over time, which they don't tend to do. I grew all my tomatoes last year, and I think if you followed along with that, you would have seen we had a bumper crop. And these trellises were used for all of our tomatoes. No staking, too much fuss, too many parts. Just shove these in the ground and off I go. I'll do the same on the other side, but that's looking so much better already. And it's really quite easy. And these trellises, I would have to say, probably they'd be under $5 a piece. They're made out of old Rio that was being thrown out and some old spare timber. Nothing fancy, but they certainly do a great job. And I've just spray painted them black, and that's probably the dearest part, is to actually spray paint them. I used a rust guard paint on them so that they don't deteriorate over time as well. And there we go. All tied up, all secured. That's so much better. I'm just going to tend to any fronds that I might have bent or affected while I was pushing those trellises in. Straighten everything up so it can grow nice. Hey, pretty happy about that. It's been bugging me for a few weeks, to be honest. I just keep walking past it going, I've got to do something with those asparagus, and here we are. It's all done, all secured. I can still get my hand in there. I can still access the spears. Not that we're really harvesting anything from the asparagus at this point. We might take 1 or 2 spears this year, but we won't be taking very much at all. You don't want to harvest much of your asparagus when you first get it started. And that's just so much neater, so much easier to manage and safer for the plant. We're not going to lose spears. We're not going to end up with damage to the plant. And it's also not going to keep shading out the kohlrabi that's planted near it as well. And that's going to be nice and stable if the winds come, which in September we tend to get a lot of. And here we are at the other end of the DoveTemple, and we're looking at the choko vines. Now these are the ones that are overwintered. If you're interested in the story behind the chokos and how I overwinter my vines, there's a video on that, so feel free to check that out. But you can see I've got the chokos trailing up, and you know, it's still winter here. It's not even spring just yet. And look how much growth that's already on them. If I wasn't overwintering these chokos, I probably wouldn't have gotten them in the ground just yet. So all of that growth wouldn't be in place. And yet, you know, that's what we see from above the ground, but I imagine that the root system underground is just incredibly vigorous at this point. and able to produce the enormous amount of chokos that we've been getting. I mean, we've just got so many still in the Shyam Wellbeing harvest pantry. Here I'm taking out any of the old dead parts of the plant, just cleaning it up, making it a little neater, but also just using that up for compost. It's not really doing anything for the plant, it's not doing anything for the garden, so you might as well use it and get it composted. It'll probably go through the chipper, that one, and chip it up and then straight into the 3-bay composter. This is a 2-year-old plant, this one. It's been in the ground for 1 season already. It's heading into its 2nd season, so I expect a bumper crop from it this year. Look at that, so much better. And the dog's over in the background. We've got a crabapple that I planted there with some beautiful fresh mulch, and they love that spot now. It's looking so much better. So I've used 2 runners on this one, I've used 2 strings on this one, and you can see the strings that go up, they've got a knot in them, and then I just keep twining the vine up every couple of days to encourage it to stay neat and to get it to go up into the rooftop of the Taj Veg Temple. I don't think this sky today could get any bluer, just stunning. We'll pop on over and have a look at the project that's underway. So it's looking a little chaotic, but it's starting to come together. This is the DoveTemple, and we extended it so that they've actually got an outdoor area because the hawk's still giving them a bit of grief. So I've started the garden. You can see off to the right, and there's a plum cherry in the garden that's just gone in there now, and also an espalier camellia, which has to be straightened up, but I won't do any of that at this point. It'll be another week or 2 before I'll get to that. And then the doves themselves are doing incredibly well. They're very happy, but I can't put any perches or anything too much in there yet because I've still got to finish painting and do a few trims. Well, that's it for the day. I'm going to head back up and start editing this video. So thanks for joining me. Have a beautiful day. Shine on.